Now we have a bad seal here. That's how I know. And that's why this one's out of use.
Oh, this piece here?
Yeah.
Those nitrous balloons he's filling up?
This piece is from... That's your gauge.
Plead the fifth.
But that's all the rest of them work. That's how you hook up a CO2.
Okay.
When this petcock here, when it's in the down position, it's going to let the air flow. If it's in this position, it's going to shut off the air. So if you have CO2 like this, but you don't have any pressure, it could be this valve right
switch.
here.
Right.
Just has to open up.
Right. Okay.
In these underneath here, there's 3, one for each line underneath.
Okay.
So you got to make sure all of them are pointing in the direction of the hose. Who can tell the difference between a imported tap and a domestic tap? Anybody? Anybody? This is the import. It's got
female.
The nipple, and you'll be able to see it. If you take a look at a Heineken keg, you'll just see a silver circle in the middle. That's what that goes into. When you push that down, that goes into the silver circle, and that rubber keeps it going. This is a domestic keg. This is Budweiser, a domestic tap. You just turn it and push down. Your beer's flowing now, as long as your CO2 is on. If by chance you ever have to change one of these, say an import's on there and you need a domestic tap, always make sure in the air, this is the air, this is where your CO2 goes, that one of these is in there. On this tap, you'll see it's built in. On this one, all it does is slip in there. What this does is it allows the CO2 to go in, but doesn't allow it to come back out. So that way when your CO2 tank gets a quarter of the way, is only a quarter full, it will still let the air in to pump the beer out. But if there's too much pressure in this keg and not enough pressure in here, the air would just try to go back into this tank. That's why this nipple's got to be on there. And all that does is slip in there, and then the nut goes over top of it.
Which line has the import on it by default? Is the middle one, correct?
Middle one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless there's 2 imported beers.
And that was the
Which is
problem
rare.
with Friday night's beer, by the way. When Brian came in the morning, I had him switch out the beers. He said to me, if I'm not, actually I have it in my phone.
I can tell you exactly because I did it. I put I changed out the Miller Lite, and I put the thing back on, turned the gas back on the tube itself.
Yeah.
And went to open the tap, and I had little drips coming out. So I was like, okay. So I turned off the air again, took off the tap, and re-screwed it back on, put it on, made sure. I'm thinking maybe I don't have it on right, and I put it back on, cranked it down, same thing. All right, I guess maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's the air. So I went over to the left side, pulled that one off, put it onto that one, not even thinking that it's there's different taps.